Hi, welcome back to day
Welcome back.
three. How did those value statements work out for everybody? Did you feel that did it resonate with you? Did it really kind of bring something true to you? Really hope that it was a visceral reaction for your life, because
Hopefully
it was.
you now you've had a little time to sort of think about it, sit with it a little bit. Maybe you made some adjustments in the work that you did yesterday. It's all good.
Yeah. So today we're gonna take everything that we've already done. Everything we're doing is building onto each other, and everything we've already done. Your values, your value statements, your value pillars, and now we're going to talk about setting intentions that support you. And I'm going to be the one doing most of the talking today, but Danny's going to chime in just like I chimed in, and that's how we're going to roll today. Okay. All right, so today we're going to talk about creating values-based intentions that are true to who you are, and that's really important. And I want to specifically say, why are we saying values-based intentions versus just intentions? A lot of times, there's two things we want to understand about intentions and when we set them. A lot of times when people set intentions, it really just ends up being another to-do list, another list of responsibilities, things that you need to get done, which might be very true. They might absolutely be things that need to be done, but that's not the basis for this. The problem with to-do lists is then we become slaves to the Post-it, or slaves to the day planner, or slaves to our Outlook, or whatever it is. And that just further throws us into the chaos where we feel like we're being thrown around by everything else, as opposed to being centered and focused on what is important to us, right? So you've gone through this journey where you've identified your values, you've identified what your pillar values are, and you've really, really thought about that. You have these value statements. Looking at your value statements, if one of your value statements is driving you to work hard because you're a hard worker and you really enjoy that, then setting your intention for that day, if you're just going to say, today I'm going to work hard, which is a feeling state, that's where you're going to feel, but you might want to think about it in a broader context, looking at the other values that you've listed that are under that pillar, leveraging each of those in order to help support you in setting a mentality and a focus. Intentions are the GPS, the navigation system for what we're doing every day, right? I don't know why that's not working. Oh, look, technology is battling me today. Just so you know, my intention today had nothing to do with technology. Maybe it should have. And I'd be doing better at this today. So sometimes when I'm thinking about intentions, I think about Babe Ruth. You know, Babe Ruth, when he pointed to the bleachers and then he hit that home run, and people jokingly call that Babe Ruthing it, right? Which is often referred to in a ballsy way, like, wow, that was really ballsy, like you Babe Ruthed it. And that's not really the focus for this. If you want to look at it as Babe Ruth wanted to, ensure that he was connecting with as many people as possible, and that was his intention because it's based on one of his values, then that's great. But it wasn't about just that one task of hitting the home run, right?
And that's a really important point, is really the difference between goals and intentions. So we all have goals, like you were talking about. Those are very task oriented. Intentions really are about the frame of mind, about our feeling state, because we can't necessarily control the outcome. Goals are outcome based. Intentions are input based. So how are you going to frame things? What's your frame of mind going to be, which will allow you then to accomplish those goals? So you're going to be focusing on your state of mind, your intention. So maybe your intention is to be focused, or your intention is to be open. Then that feeling state will allow you then to accomplish those goals. So we're focusing though on that feeling state.
Yeah. And that's really true. And you can write like a full statement, kind of like you have your value statements, but it can be as simple as a word. a lot of times I set my intention and I think about not only my values and what's become really important to me, but I think about what's been going on in my life recently and what do I need? What part is missing that I need to fill, right? Because that moment, we need to make that assessment to see where we're out of balance. And this intention setting really is a great leveling opportunity for us to be able to get a little bit more balance. And when we do it in the mornings, I always recommend that. It allows you to kind of set your day up. But you also want to understand how to be flexible in this intention setting. So to Danny's point, if it's a taskmaster and it's a specific goal where it's outcome based, you're really focusing on that outcome as opposed to focusing on the experience throughout that moment. Intentions, like I said earlier, they're like the GPS that kind of drive us towards a direction. But it's more like a GPS where you're really enjoying all of the side tours. You're enjoying the panoramic views more than just driving to get somewhere. And so I tend to think about, I look at my values and I look at what's important to me. And there are some days where I say, today I'm going to laugh as much as possible. And that's my intention for the day. And I usually do that when I've discovered that I've been overly stressed. I really feel overwhelmed. I feel like I'm losing what is important and the levity that I need in my life. And so I find an intention that really helps me create that balance. So when you are looking at your values, your pillars, and you're looking at creating that intention, you really need to understand kind of where you are in the moment. That mini assessment of who and what you are at that moment, what's been going on, is great to help you kind of flow throughout the day. Give yourself that flexibility. So to give an idea of some possible intentions, my intention is to be compassionate to myself and others. That's a frequent friend of mine and even Danny's. Sometimes the intention is just to be compassionate to ourselves for that moment, because if we're compassionate to ourselves, we will be compassionate to others. It happens. And that happens for me, again, when I'm having some stressful deadlines, or I might be having some challenges with my kids or in relationships. Those things happen. My intention is to laugh as often as possible. When I'm really stressed out, I try to go for the laughing one, because it really helps pull me out of that tense state. My intention is to focus on priorities and productivity. So this one, I want to be really clear, isn't another to-do list. It isn't your taskmaster. It's identifying where you are and where you need to be, and realizing I have a deadline. I have some things I really need to work on. And you don't need to think about the deadlines. You don't need to think about the specifics, but you do need to think about where your mind is going to be and where your body is going to be throughout that duration of the day, right? So I say that focus on priorities and productivity. And for me, that immediately sparks some specific actions that I'm going to take that will support me in that. I know that because I've set that intention. Engage in habits that support my well-being. So right now we are in the middle of a pandemic, and where I live, we're going into another pretty strict lockdown. And I think some other people may be too in this time period. And what happens is sometimes we don't necessarily, in situations like that, when things are not ideal, we get out of balance and we aren't supporting our well-being. And so sometimes if you want to be vague enough and say engage in habits that support my well-being, that's so much better than saying I will work out for 30 minutes, I will, eat a salad, I will ABC. All of those things maybe absolutely fall under that intention. But again, you don't want to be that specific. You need to give yourself that liberty, that freedom to be able to move around in it. Because at the end of the day, thinking about the intention that you've set You don't want to be like, oh, I didn't do this, this, and this. That's what our to-do lists are for, that don't have the checklists off, right? Like we see that and we're like, well, I didn't get that done. This isn't an opportunity to beat yourself up. This is an opportunity for you to sit at the end of the day. And if you say, I want to engage in habits that support my well-being, and then you realize, spent 20 minutes on the phone with my best friend. You know what? Maybe that was it. Maybe that helped you with your well-being. You needed that more than checking something off on your to-do list. And you need to really feel that. Again, it's a feeling state.
And I think with this, it is also really important because so many of us are in this state of mind because we have not been caring for ourselves. So when we go through this process and you create your intentions, we're going to encourage you to have at least one intention throughout the week that focuses on you and your well-being and your health. So just keep in mind, yes, we need to take care of others, we have obligations, but at least have one intention that serves you.
Absolutely. I mean, we put the oxygen on yourself first, right? How many times have we heard that expression to the point where we're numb to it? But having, that intention somewhere within the parameters of your week is going to support you more than you possibly know. We talk about self-care. It's a huge buzzword, which is great. But we want to not just to be a moment and not just to be a bath and not just to be vegging. It needs to be what's really fueling you. So for example, if I say engage in habits that support my well-being, that's going to mean something different to me than it is to you because you have different values, because you have different experiences. So for you, maybe you're a marathon runner or you're a triathlete, which I am absolutely not. And so for you, maybe that's like, yeah, in my well-being means I'm going to get up and I'm going to go for a 3-mile run. Awesome. And you might feel fantastic after that. And then for me, it might be like, I'm going to make a home cooked, healthy, plant-based meal, and that's for me. Or I'm going to turn off all my electronics and I'm going to read a book that's made out of paper. Maybe that works for me. So that I want to give you those examples on something that's so specific as that, because it has to have that flexibility to support you in those values. Because if you're too narrow, if you're aiming for a teeny tiny spot, a speck, statistically the odds of you hitting it are low. But if you broaden your horizons to I'm going to land anywhere on Greenland, makes it a lot easier than picking a specific city. This would be a really awesome bit if I could actually name a city in Greenland, but I can't. So go with that.
Fine. And then the other intention that's listed here, cherish those I love, also reminds us that the other side of balance is that we should think about intentions that are focused on other people also, the people that we are connected to in our lives. So we're going to encourage you, just in a minute, we're going to get to this meditation where you can start thinking about your own intentions. We will ask you to think about intentions that serve you, make sure that you are focused on yourself, but also have some intentions that are outwardly focused, something about serving the world or something about serving others, so that those two things can play together to come into alignment, so that it's not just all focused on yourself, it's not all focused on others, but you have a little bit of balance of both of those things. So, are we ready to get started?
Yeah, we're gonna move into a meditation. I think that's no, we're not. Are we moving in the meditation?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to move into the meditation. So as we've said in previous days, make sure that you're comfortable. Make sure that you're not someplace where you can feel grounded. You feel like you can breathe. You feel like you can relax, and just kind of follow through on the meditation. And we will be back with you afterwards. Make yourself comfortable. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold it for a bit and then let it out naturally. Another deep breath. Release the tension in your jaw. Drop your shoulders from your ears. Breathe out. Breathe in again. Breathing in the intention. the emotion, taking it inside your body. Breathe out the negativity that fights with that intention. You are a remarkable person, and your day will flow with this intention, weaving throughout it, supporting you when you feel it's needed, feeling its presence at all times. Be it to be kinder to yourself or to focus on productivity, your body hums with the intention. It vibrates with it with each flow of breath, breathing in and out. It animates your facial expressions, your laugh, your hand gestures. The intention is an invited friend who's helping you for the day. How are you interacting with this friend? Are you welcoming them and walking with them side by side? This is a feeling state that you'll carry with you throughout the day. By setting yourself up with this friend, you'll be able to keep a clear picture of what value, what feeling, what emotion you'll focus on. Imagine your day if you've lived the entire day with this intention. From each responsibility, each task completed, each person interacted with. Feel that intention serving you in all of these things, fueling you and your mind. Where does this intention live in your body? Do you feel it in your head, your ears, mouth, shoulders, heart? It's linked to your body in some way. Feel that link and remember to listen to it when it's calling for your attention. Remember to flow back to your intention throughout the day, letting it flow around you, circling you like an energy bubble. Think about what is truly important to you and what you need in your life today. What will help you maintain balance and be true to your pillars, to you as a person. Take another deep breath in. Breathing in a feeling of accomplishment, satisfaction of a day living with that intention. Fill you up with it. Breathe in again. Exhale. Start coming back to the present, knowing how successful you'll be when you set your next intention. Another deep breath, breathing in excitement and energy and passion for this. Let it fuel your organs, your body. Exhale. Your eyes. Welcome back. Welcome back. How was that? We hope that it gave you an opportunity to think about intentions in a different way, very much kind of focused on your own core and your pillar values and who you are deep down, and utilizing those intentions to really kind of fuel you to continue on. One of the things that I wanted to bring up is finding a material expression of your values, a totem, as I would call. I thought about totems originally when I saw the movie Inception. I don't know if anybody saw that movie, fantastic film. But they had created totems And the way it was used was able to tell them whether they were in a dream state or in reality, right? So I kind of came to the idea of a totem as a way to just remind me of who I am and what is important to me and what my values are. And I actually have a totem that I carry with me, which is kind of cheesy, but it is mine and I love it. And her name is Minnie Wonder Woman. And I got her as a gift from an employee one time because, like I said, I love my employees and they give me things sometimes. And for me, I grew up just loving Wonder Woman. So this is linked to so many of my values: family, connection, helping, growing, learning, all of that kind of stuff. And I bring her, she's in my purse with me all the time. And I pull her out, especially when I'm feeling I need a reminder, whether I'm anxious or I'm depressed or I'm stressed or I'm traveling. And she helps me to remember the values, to remember my intentions, to remember how they link together. And it's not something you're going to find overnight. You're probably not going to go to the 99-cent store tomorrow and find your totem.
Yep. I have one also. So this is one of my totems. This is a journal that my sister and I have matching journals. And we use this journal when we're taking notes about this business or about our priorities and our values and those kinds of things. And this has become a totem for me also. So all I have to do is see this journal wherever it is, wherever it's lying around, and it reminds me about the importance of my family, about connections to others, about giving to others, about trying to make the world a better place. So for me, this serves in the same capacity as Heather's Wonder Woman doll. So it's something tangible, something that I can look at, and it's attached with all of those values, all of those intentions kind of are embodied in seeing this little book. And that's what we will encourage you to do. That's your homework for today. So continue to think about these intentions, find something, and start the process of searching for an object that can embody the values that you care about the most. You want to go on with the next homework step?
What your homework is for tonight, I know we give homework. I blame the professor, by the way, is create an intention for tomorrow. So you can create it tonight or you can create it in the morning. I create my intentions in the morning. I believe, Danny, you create your intentions at night.
Sometimes I do. Yeah, sometimes I do. Because it helps me to go to sleep and then I wake up, but sometimes I do it in the morning. Yep.
Yeah. And so when you wake up in the morning, if you have a totem, maybe it's there with you, maybe it isn't. If just think about the journey that you've taken so far, think about the values, think about your pillars, think about the meditations that you've done, and think about what intention can you set for tomorrow that will support you through that you can always go back to, like a totem, like touching, in order for you to feel centered, focused, balanced, even when you might not be feeling centered, focused, balanced, right? That's the intent. That's the intention of your intention.
Exactly. So that's it for day 3. We're going to be back again tomorrow for the final step. So tomorrow we're going to go over a process that you can use and to help you continue staying focused on your values throughout your life. So thanks everyone for joining us for today, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye. Wonder Woman says bye too.
Bye.